Yes, I fully intend to do this video in my tiny chopper hat. What? Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be talking about the One Piece live action series that Netflix is planning to produce. Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, no. It's a big fat no from me. I do not support this. I do not want this. If you do, that's fine. I am a huge One Piece fan, if you couldn't tell from the hat. I've got my action figures. I've got my, my Luffy second gear thermal mug where he goes second gear when it gets hot. Oh my god, this is like the best mug ever. That aside, I'm not going to be talking about the manga, I'm going to be talking specifically about the anime. I have been watching One Piece, oh my god, for like 20, holy shit, I've been watching One Piece for 20 years. Oh my god. That's kind of scary. Kind of, that's very scary. Yeah, I'd say since the early 2000s. Now, the anime began airing in 1999, and I, of course, didn't start watching it then because they wouldn't have started dubbing it straight away. I did originally start watching the English dub. I was watching it at 8 o'clock every morning. It was on the TV as a cartoon, and it was right before I went to school, so I'd always miss the last few minutes because that's when I had to leave to go to school. But I loved it, and I loved, oh my god, I love the One Piece rap. Yeah. Oh my god, I'm not gonna get started because I'll be here all day. And then I kind of forgot about it for a little while, and then one day I remembered, I'm like, what is that show I used to love? And I actually remembered that it was called One Piece, and I went looking for it, and I'm like, whoa, it's still going? I was so excited, and so I went and I started watching it from the very beginning, and I would, every time I'd get caught up, I'd go back to the beginning and I'd start marathoning it again. One Piece is my #1 favorite anime of all time. Now here's a very scary thing. People know that Charmed is my altogether favorite TV show of all time. I'm covered in Charmed tattoos. I'm gonna get a One Piece tattoo. I'm gonna design one day. I just haven't figured out what I want yet. I want to be unique. But when it comes to like live action shows, Charmed is #1. When it comes to anime, One Piece is #1. But if you were gonna ask me like what is my favorite overall thing to watch, I would say One Piece. And people don't know that. They think I'd say Charmed, but it's actually One Piece. Nothing hits me harder emotionally than this anime. It kills me. It's the only thing in creation that can make you cry over a freaking boat. You hear me? Mary, we miss you. So, a couple years ago, I think early mid 2017, they announced, I remember it popped up in my feed in Facebook, it's like, you know, the suggested shit. And it's like, did you know they're doing One Piece, the live action series? I went, come again? I started crying. These were not tears of happiness, and I'm not exaggerating. I was crying. I was one of those people. I was one of those fans. I started crying, and it wasn't because I was happy. I was so upset. Like I said, I did start watching One Piece dubbed, and then when I one day caught up, I don't remember where I was. Oh, we were at the Subodi Archipelago. That was the arc that I was up to. And as soon as we got there, I got caught up with the English dub. I'm like, no, because I know we're getting to Ace's death. It's like, it's around the corner. I need to get there, even though I'd already watched it, a clip of it on YouTube. I'm like, no, I need to get there. And it wasn't until then that I actually, like, I knew the Japanese episodes were way ahead. And then I saw how many episodes they were ahead. And I'm like, oh, there's like 200 episodes I could binge watch right now. And I went, switch into Japanese I am. So from that moment on, I started watching it in Japanese, and I never went back. Actually, I tried to go back to watching it dubbed once, and I just went, oop, nope, can't do it. There is such a distinct difference between One Piece in English and One Piece in Japanese. Now, this is coming from somebody who started and watched it for years in English and crying hysterically for years. But when you start hearing it in Japanese, oh my god, it's so much more powerful and it hurts so much more. It cuts you so deep. There's something about Japanese voice actors and the way they emote something that just cuts right through. You could close your eyes, not know a word they're saying, and you'll start crying. You just know whatever they're saying is powerful. And you just yeah, like thinking about it, I could start crying. It's that damn good. Oda is an incredible storyteller, and I do understand that they said that he is involved in the making of this series. Please don't. We've seen America adapt many Japanese, well, not even Japanese. America adapts a lot of foreign films and foreign TV shows. America steals a lot of shit from foreign people, that's a fact. And they have a tendency to ruin almost everything they touch. Very rarely, like 1 time out of 10, does an American adaptation become as good or better than the original. Like, I'd have to go like a pro example, Let the Right One In and Let Me In. America, actually pretty good. A lot of people think the American version is better. I actually like the original better, but that's neither here nor there. And then you can go on the con side. Martyrs, my absolute favorite foreign horror psychological thriller film ever. America adapted it and they butchered it. So there's that. And then there's the fact that Netflix is doing this. Y'all remember what happened with Death Note? You remember that? Now, Japan has actually done live action movies for Death Note, and I think that they're right on the money with it. They knew what they were doing and theirs is a lot better. Then you had America, who's like, yeah, we're gonna do a live action Death Note series, or was it a movie? Or now I can't even remember now. I've tried to push it from my mind. It wasn't good. I'm not saying it was terrible, but the changes they made were crap. I actually think Ryuk actually looked pretty good. I think Willem Dafoe was a really good choice to play the character, but then what they did to Light. You ruined the best thing about the damn anime. Light was a psychopath. One of the best things about Death Note is that you've got this incredible cat and mouse storyline between L and Light, and I love their dynamic, and I love, like, Light is a super highly functioning, highly intellectual psychopath. But he's got a god complex and the power goes right to his head and he is drunk on power, and it's amazing. I remember, I cry a lot, especially at anime. Does anybody not cry at anime? Okay, anime is great. I cried so much at the final episode because I'm like, what a conclusion, oh my god. And so then I remember when I saw the first clip for the American Death Note, and there's Light, and he, well, the character is meant to be Light, and he is a scared coward who screamed like a girl the first time he saw Ryuk. I'm like, really? Really? That's not remotely like Light. I remember in the anime, the first time that Light meets Ryuk, and I'm pretty sure his words were something to the effect of, I knew you'd come.
驚いてないよ、リュウク。いや、待ってたよ、リュウク。
Like, you could have half expected him to turn around and go like, you're 10 minutes late. That kind of thing. And I think Ryuk was more scared or surprised by this reaction, you know, when he's not busy eating apples. Oh my god, and now I've kind of got the Pen Pineapple Apple Pen song in my head.
Pen Pineapple Apple Pen.
So good though. Like, it's creepy. It's so bloody good. So I don't think that America is good at adapting the core fundamentals and heart of an anime. Now, you'd think that would be fine because Oda is involved in this project, but American studios can be bullies, and they have a really long track record of crushing a creator's creativity and dreams of what they want for something for their own. You know, studios will say like, no, we want this, so screw you, we'll do this instead. That aside, I do not for 1 second believe that a live action One Piece series can work, even if it was done by a really, by a bigger studio or a bigger corporation. Not even, this isn't me even trashing Netflix, because I actually like a lot of stuff that Netflix does. But, doesn't matter who does it, I do not believe for a moment that it would be good. One Piece has this perfect blend of serious and comedy, and it can get away with a lot of the comedic stuff in serious scenes because it's an anime. If you try to do these little things in a live action, it's going to, instead of being like laughing through tears, you're gonna be, what the F? It's gonna be like that. We're dealing in a fictional world with pirates and marines and people who eat powers that come from devil fruits, and there's a whole thing about that. If you're watching this and you don't know anything about One Piece, I do not have the time to break it down for you, because like I said, that's over 20 years of One Piece that you want me to explain. I can't even really give you a crash course. There's a lot. So let's talk about the main things that I feel like are the reasons that a live action version won't work. One is the story itself. One Piece, like I said, is the perfect blend between serious emotion and comedy. Monkey D. Luffy himself is a hilarious character. And I love that a lot of his comedy is actually explained. It's actually quite logical. It's not just done for the giggles. Like, we can see him engorge himself on, you know, like mass amounts of food, and he's always talking about meat. And you can see that if he eats meat, he suddenly is extra strong in a fight. That seems like that's really weird and that doesn't make any sense, but the anime actually establishes that, scientifically speaking, Luffy has an extremely high metabolism, and so he burns energy and calories a lot faster than normal people do. So he has to eat very large quantities of food to replace that energy and essentially give himself the energy that he needs in a fight, because he exerts a great deal of it when he's in battle. So they've actually explained that. But when I say he gorges himself on large amounts of food, I mean like if my room was filled with meat, he would just inhale it. You can do that in an anime. I don't necessarily think that that's going to look good in a live action, or they could then just choose to not do it. But like I said, while it's funny in a live action, they have established there's a reason for it. Luffy's metabolism. So if you don't have him doing that, then we're just going to say Luffy doesn't have a high metabolism, and then we're just like, you see? Once you start making those changes, it's a domino effect. Everything starts falling apart. Like in the real world, you have countries, and people from different countries have different looks based on their ethnicity. So in the land of One Piece, when they venture to different islands, they come across the inhabitants of those islands, and a lot of the time those inhabitants have different features based on the fact that that's like their culture, their ethnicity. You have the long leg tribe, the long arm tribe, so it's like they're double or triple jointed, so it's like 2 elbows. I don't even know how you'd describe it. If I find a picture, I'll put it on the screen. How are you going to do that? Are you going to have people with prop fake arms? Or are you going to start using CGI? We also, in One Piece, we have giants. Now, of course, I've seen plenty of things where people have made giants. Hell, I love Jack and the Beanstalk, and I'm talking about the like Hallmark lifestyle movie version. I love that. I've actually got a review on my channel. They had, my god, they had a young James Corden as a giant. So they had giants and it actually worked. So I think they also had Daryl Hannah as a giant as well. Anyway, so you can do that, but like I said, some of them, is it really gonna work? Let's look at characters like Big Mom. Big Mama, oh my gosh, she's huge and ugly as hell. Yeah, no, I do not for a moment think that you're gonna do a live action version of her. Then let's try and talk about Merpeople. So we have Merpeople. We have the people of Fishman Island, which is the depths of the ocean. So you have fishmen, mermaids, and a lot of other various beings that are basically half marine, half man, hybrid type things, but that is their species. They talk, they move, they have all that stuff. And I also like that they have this one way where because you have a lot of them who have like shark fin or a fish tail or a mermaid tail or something like that, or like an eel's tail, so they don't walk. So they actually have this kind of it's like a bubble ring around them, and it allows them to float so that they can technically more like glide around, because they're not actually in the water. They're in like a little air pocket. How are you going to do that for a live action? How do you do that without it making it look stupid? For example, let's look at the character of Shirahoshi. How are you going to make this giant fucking mermaid whose best friend is a shark? How are you going to do that? How are you going to live action that without it looking stupid? It's gonna look stupid. There are so many characters in this world. Oh my god, let's not even forget the Mink Tribe. The Mink Tribe, oh, bless the hearts of the Mink Tribe. The Mink Tribe are a tribe of people, or a civilization, who essentially are like a hybrid of humanoid animals. So you've got foxes, dogs, cats, and they fight, they talk, they walk on high legs, they wear clothes. So they act like humans, but they have the features of animals. You're gonna live action those two? Again, it's gonna look stupid. Then we have to go into one of the big parts of One Piece, and that is the powers. A large number of One Piece characters have abilities. Their abilities come from eating something called a devil fruit. There is only one of each type of devil fruit that contains one unique power. The person who eats it obtains that power and some unfortunate side effects. And the only way, there's no repeating. You can't give your power away. It is yours once you eat that fruit, and you will never find another person with your ability. The only way that that actually happens in the mythology of One Piece is that once a devil fruit user, so the person who has eaten it, dies, it's like it starts a kind of almost like a reincarnation thing where the fruit reappears and starts the cycle all over again. We have especially seen this happen with the character of Ace, also known as Fire Fist Ace. He ate the flame fruit. I've actually blanked on its, was it the Meta no Mi? I'm blanking on my devil fruit names. It's actually in my top 10, I do believe. I've got a video, so I'll put a link to it there, my top 10 devil fruits. But I'm thinking it was the Meta no Mi, wasn't it? If not, I'll just say the flame fruit. Either works. So when he died, the fruit reappeared, and that later was obtained and eaten by his brother Sabo. So Sabo now is the bearer of the flame fruit. So it's that kind of thing. Now there are certain abilities we've seen, you know, we've seen the X-Men movies, DC movies, Marvel movies, where people have these extraordinary powers, especially in the land of X-Men. We have mutants who have really bizarre powers. I'm still getting over fucking Dark Phoenix and the guy with the magical dreadlocks. Oy, that one. How the fuck did he beat an Omega level mutant like Storm? I'm sorry, it still gets to me. But like X-Men mutants, there are some very bizarre powers in the land of One Piece. Luffy, while his in theory is technically not that bizarre, the things that he can do with it is quite bizarre. Luffy ate the Gum fruit, also known as the Gomu no Mi, which made him a rubber man. So think Mr. Fantastic, only with way more capabilities. He can inflate his body like a balloon to rebound things that are missiles or cannons or things that are thrown at him. He can rebound them. He can inflate and enlarge limbs and do things like that so that he can crush people. He can extend his body and use it like a whip. He, of course, he's later moved on, has certain attacks that he calls gears, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4. And each one has a different look. When he established, I think it was 3rd gear, when he established this specific power of inflating or, you know, blowing up certain parts of his body to make them stronger. One of the side effects is it would wear off and it would weaken him quite fast, and then he would end up like this small. And he's had this little squeaky voice. It was really, really cute. I'm just trying to picture that as a live action. It's gonna look really dumb. Not even just powers, going back to the characters. Usopp. Usopp has a very long nose. It's one of his defining features. And what are you gonna do? Prosthetic it, CGI it, or just have someone who doesn't have a long nose? It's been a long-running joke, and it's almost like a characteristic trait of the character now, that he has a long nose. He's sometimes called Long Nose. So it's like Usopp is synonymous with his, sorry, I've got the hiccups, with his long nose. Like, you can't not have one. But again, going with the powers, we have, let's talk about the previous head honcho of the Marines, who could turn himself into a giant golden Buddha, basically. Like, giant gold, and he had an afro, so that was kind of funny. Live action that. Okay, we have people who can turn themselves, if they eat zone type fruits, there are 3 types of devil fruits. You have Logia, Paramecia, and Zone. A zone type fruit is basically like turning people into animal-human hybrids. So we've seen people who are like human giraffes. Works in an anime, not so much in a live action. There are a lot of things like that, and a zone type person can take 3 different forms, unless you are the character of Tony Chopper, the Straw Hat Pirate. doctor, almost said captain, that'd be cool though, he's their ship's doctor, and he ate a human fruit, so he was actually a reindeer who took on human characteristics, and he can talk. Here's my cute dude. I love this little dude. He has a thing called a rumble ball. He eats it, so he actually takes on 7 forms. Is it still 7? I forget how many he has now in the time skip. Point is, he can take on extra forms, and some of them are very elaborate. He also had an extra form that he could take if he ate 3 rumble balls. Now it only requires 2, and he's in complete control. And he looks like this. Yeah. It's big, it's weird, and I'm just trying to picture that as a live action, and I don't see it. He also does, it's one of my favorite things he does. Tony Chop is so freaking adorable. I love this guy. He has this little thing where if you give him a compliment, he gets really shy and embarrassed, and he's so kawaii when he's like this, and so, oh my god! So he starts doing this like wavy thing with his body. I'll try and insert a clip for you. So he's making these gestures and he's swearing and like cussing you out, and he's all like, no, you stupid idiot. It's not like I find it as like a compliment or anything, but the way he's acting, you can tell he's very flattered, he's a little embarrassed, but he loves that he's getting a compliment. And it's just a really cute trait of his personality, and I love that he still has this. It's so cute because of what you can do with the animation that makes it cute. You can't make it that cute with live action, you know? You thought y'all could make Simba cute in a live action. Guess what? You couldn't. Simba was cute in the cartoon version. He ain't cute in the live action version, which, let's face it, it's not really live action. It's just another version of a cartoon because it's all done on computer. Just one's drawn, one's computer, but still, it's animation. It's not really live action if you think about it. Live action has to be a bit more real. I'm going through all these characters, all these abilities, all these worlds. Hell, I'm even thinking about the Sunny. I'm thinking about their ship and the things that it can do thanks to Frankie. Frankie even! Oh my god! Frankie is half cyborg. He's almost all cyborg now. How are you going to live action him? He is a cyborg who runs on freaking Coca-Cola. Can we picture this as a live action? Cause I sure can't. Where he can mechanically change his hair to different shapes and shit. But you have so many functions of the Sunny. So many things that ship can do, and I'm just like, I don't think you can do that in a live action either. I don't want One Piece as a live action. It is perfect in anime form. I think that there are things that the anime can do that just will not translate to other mediums. You can address these powerful, very, very, very powerful emotional subjects that are very deep and profound, and you can do it while there are characters exhibiting facial expressions that the human face cannot make. And these voice actors that can convey these emotions with so much intensity that you feel it in the core of your being. And I do not see a regular actor being able to do that in a live action. I think if you try to replicate these powers, these people, these made up ethnicities, these anything to do with One Piece, basically, I think it's gonna not, instead of having moments that are just like, oh, this is fun and funny, it's going to become a joke. It already feels like a joke to me, and it's not funny. Like, nobody's in on the joke, nobody wants the joke. It's a fart in church, you know what I mean? Nobody wants it, nobody likes it, and people are already saying you're going to hell. I love One Piece. I enjoyed it as an English dub, but it's so much better in Japanese. But live action? I've gone over it so many times in my head. I have thought about it. I have weighed it out. I have tried to, like, you can definitely get away with certain characters and with abilities that are a bit easier to deal with. Yeah, 100%. There are certain characters, especially Sanji. There's an easy one. That's so easy to do a live action version of Sanji. Not necessarily his fighting style. I don't know any gymnast or Cirque du Soleil type person who can replicate his fighting style. Not even when his freaking legs are on fire. I don't see that happening. Nami, Robin, I can see them being cast, and even basically I could probably even see them doing a live action version of Robin's power. But just because you can for some of them doesn't mean that you should, because you sure as shit can't for like, what, 80% of the series? It's just, it's gonna be a hot mess. I don't want it to be done. I'm personally against it. I doubt that I would watch it if it ever happens. Even if Oda is backing it, even if he's writing it, that's fine. But he ain't in charge of CGI. He can't make them make it good. And he probably won't even have a say in casting. He may want to, but studios, like I said, can be dicks. I just don't see this ending well. I think that this was a bad idea from the get-go. And if you support it, you want to see it, and you're all for it, that's great. Tell me how you feel maybe about Netflix being behind the project, because like I said, Death Note. Ugh. It's hard times. I just think it's bad enough that America loves to adapt so many foreign things and butcher them. I just think anime is one of the things that should be left alone. Anime is so perfect as it is, and I mean any type of anime. It's its own thing, and no other genre, no other medium can do what anime does, so therefore I feel like anime should be left alone. I mean, guaranteed, yeah, sure, there are some things that you can do. I know there's like a live action version of Sailor Moon, but even that looks stupid to me. Sorry, just, it just looks so dumb. I don't care which country's doing it, just please stop. And America, stop trying to make everything a live action. Stop trying to make it happen. You're taking, like, just do something new. There's plenty of scripts out there. Do something new. Stop live actioning every fucking thing. My god. Okay, I'm gonna stop ranting now because I feel like I've made my point. I could go on. I'm very tempted to, but I'm going to stop there. So, if you're a fan of One Piece, and you know about the live action series that they want to do, please comment below, tell me your thoughts about it. Are you in for it? Are you out? Do you want to see it? Do you not want to see it? How do you think they'll approach it? Do you think it works? And how do you feel about Netflix doing it? There are so many questions, but I'm interested to hear your thoughts. These are just mine. If you are all for it and you fully endorse it, good for you. Good for you. Then I hope it works out for you. Me, I'm just gonna be over here watching the anime. So that is it for my video for today. Thank you as always to my amazing patrons. I promise there is a new Oracle Reacts video coming soon, but that is it for now. You can like this, you can give this video a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want. Subscribe to my channel maybe if you feel like doing it, or not, that's perfectly okay. I'm gonna go and, you know, hang out with my hat here. It's great seeing you today, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!